In the Mirror Universe episodes of Enterprise, they end up on a ship from the future of our universe, and we see a future biography of Captain Archer. It's on screen for about 4 seconds, but it establishes a lot of details about Archer's future after the end of the series, including his time as Federation president about 25 years after the Enterprise finale. Mike Sussman was the writer who wrote that biography, and now, about 25 years later, he's making headlines by talking about a concept for a TV show about President Archer in the early years of the Federation. It's called Star Trek United, and I've never wanted to see anything more in my entire life. I'm not saying I have a particular bias towards wanting this series, just because my two favorite TV shows are Enterprise and The West Wing, just because I'm a huge fan of Scott Bakula, and particularly Scott Bakula as Jonathan Archer. Obviously, I am, but I do sincerely think that United is just what Star Trek needs right now. In the modern Paramount Plus era of Star Trek, as much as I like every show they made, they very clearly made too many too quickly. 5 shows all doing their own take on next generation style outer space adventures, all running at once, was a lot. They clearly realized this, which is why they recently ended all of them but one. But I've always thought this universe is so fully realized that it would be perfect for series about something beyond life on a Starfleet ship. I like the structure of a flagship show like Strange New Worlds that covers the action-adventure elements of Trek, with a couple other shows that show a different side of life in the United Federation of Planets. And a show focused on the politics of the early Federation, featuring one legacy character with a cast of new faces, would be perfect for that. And that legacy character should really be Archer because he's my favorite. But I am not biased. Now, it's no secret that Enterprise is not the most beloved Trek series among the fandom. So it may seem like a weird call to give Captain Archer his own Picard-style series. But I think a key element here is that the show is called Star Trek United and not Star Trek Archer. If you look at a show like The West Wing, the president isn't the central character. He's part of an ensemble cast. He's the leader, but he's not always involved in the smaller day-to-day struggles the show is focused on. The title, United, also tells us what the show would really be about: the building of the Federation. This is something we got a taste of in the last few seasons of Discovery, after they jump to the distant future where the Federation has to be rebuilt from the ground up. President Rillak is mostly a foil for the Discovery crew, but we do see her making tough decisions to keep the peace and bring in potential planets. There's a lot to work with in that concept. But the main reason I think it's the show we need right now is the same reason I've become so hooked on The West Wing this year: the total despair of real-life politics. Stories of aspirational leaders hit really hard in a time when the actual government is so loaded with open corruption. Look at that new Superman movie. The reason it's resonating so much with people is because it's about being kind and doing what's right. That's your sign, Paramount, to lean into that excitement to give us the Outer Space West Wing starring Scott Bakula that we all so desperately need. But I'm not biased.